All right, I'm going to try to do this video quickly because I know it's kind of challenging for people to watch long videos, but this process could take a long time if you want it to take a long time, or it could be something quick. Let's just see, and I'll just show you a simple demonstration. I'm going to use simple chords to demonstrate this. I'm not going to get into no heavy-duty chords, but just so that you can see it. So I'm going to use scales, and I'm just going to pick a scale, right? And we'll just pick, hopefully, sorry. All right, let's just pick G, okay? You can pick the type of chord if you want, but in this case, down below, you'll see the scales are all right here. So let's just pick major. All right. In here, you have triads, sevenths, ninths, 11ths, 13ths, different voicings and variations. That's where they all start. But the point of this is to show you how you can take a chord and build using suggest, okay? Or suggestions, however you want to term it. So let's start with sevenths because those are pretty jazzy. We're using pure piano. EOS 2 is the, I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. EOS 2 is the reverb here. And my dog just walked in. Hopefully she won't bark too much. I like to use the humanized feature, so I'm going to turn it on both timing. Gives it a little life to the chord so it doesn't sound so stale. All right, and we're just going to pick this first one. I'm going to drag it down here to the C slot, and then I'm going to hit the word suggest. And what they do, or what Scalar 2 does, is gives you, based on the tonal sound, it gives you options. Any of the options that are in blue are in the actual scale. If they're not in blue, they tonally fit the scale. So they sound good. That's how I'm going to put it on a simple term. So you start with the 1. This is a 1 chord, by the way. You can see the number here, 1. And there's a little bar down here that allows you to slide through. I like that. So I want to pull that. Each time I pull a chord down, it's going to make a new set of suggestions that follow this chord. You see the ring around this chord? That means it's suggestion based on this chord, okay? So all you got to do is listen, play it. I like that. I'm going to use the G minor. And then use that. So I use 2 in the scale and 2 that are tonally fit the scale, right? So and wherever you want to go from there. So let's say, well, now you don't like these suggestions, or maybe you do. I'm going to pull that one back and start over. So this is like 4 bars or 4 chords. Now I'm going to pick another chord. Pull that one down. Now we're going to go from the E. I like that one. We're going to pull that one down. So you're listening to this one. Just take that one. So now you just made yourself your first pattern. So let's say this pattern is going to be your verse, but you want a chorus, but you don't want it to be the same. So you hit the plus. Now you have a second pattern. Now you can start building here and totally go wherever you want to go from that. I've shown this in other videos. If you look at them, I think I used the MacBook to do it. It's the same process. The mod screen allows you to switch from a scale to a secondary scale. So you can use either one of those scales if you want. But if you don't, you want to stay in the same scale and you just want to play, just go up here, pick a 9th, a 11th, whatever you want to do in that scale. Start with that chord and then just build chord progressions. That's really all you're doing, right? So here's your pattern. So you can use this here as your trigger. And then if you have a keyboard or whatever, you can trigger the notes, right? Or you can just do them straight on the pad if you want to do that. Even easier. Make sure you put the humanize on, or this will sound really stale. At least do velocity if you're not going to, especially if you're going to use the pads directly off of here. And I like the timing so that it gives a little variation in it. MIDI capture is dope. It's not just capturing this MIDI, it's capturing the way you play it. So if you turn your timing on and you turn, and you play it here, press the MIDI capture, it'll give you the record option, and you just start playing it. It'll capture that particular MIDI. And then you can take that MIDI and turn, and then just, it'll have a drag button here. So if I go MIDI, watch, MIDI capture, start a MIDI capture, right? And then it's going to record that the way I played it. And then you can take that MIDI sequence that you played and then send it right into your DAW or whatever you're using. That could be, that sounds more like an intro to me. Then maybe this is your verse. I don't know. I'm just showing you how you get them. It's your choice on what sounds better to you or not. And then the pattern option is, again, your choice if you choose. So some people may want only 4 chords. So they may do their verse here and then their chorus here. And then they may use another pattern for their, for the intro or maybe the outro or whatever you're going to do. That's just showing you how, this doesn't mean these chords sound great together. Some of them, they do, obviously. But how you play them and how you use them. You might get on here and mix them up. Oh, and by the way, one of the things I like to, I'm on the iPad mini, so if you're on a bigger iPad, no doubt you're going to, this is even easier because you'll get to see the piano. I'm trying to fix this so you can see it. There it is. So if you use this down here, the blue notes represent the notes in the scale. So, by the way, on the iPad mini, you have to stretch this thing. Like, take it to the top and stretch as far as you can to the bottom to get it up there. But once you get it, you'll see. And that sounds like an intro to me. If you want to strum it, perform it, go up here to strumming. I like the slower one, but you can do whatever you want. And if you do that, you have direction, like which way you want to do. You can alternate them, which maybe you want that, and then you turn off the performance and then go. I don't like this chord at all. So say you don't like this chord, hit shift, touch that chord, and you can either edit it, or in this case, I'm going to remove it, okay? But I do want to know what I would play on that. So I'm going to pick another chord to go after this one. All right, I figured out what I want to do. I'm just going to use a major. Right? Same chord, just a major. Oops, I didn't mean to touch that. All right, so then you could be like. right? And then you have your intro. Turn performance on. Performance off. See what I'm saying? So you can play your intro, play your verse, or if you want that to be the intro and then put your verse and chorus be the same, you only need one pattern. If you want to do another pattern, use another pattern. Whatever you want to do. All the patterns show up in the sequence. I mean, not sequence. Show up in the pads column, so you can see all your patterns right here. Once you get ready to perform, if you want to use this to do it, that's fine too. You will lose the keyboard up here if you do that, but whatever. It's up to you. And then the other good thing is if you have a keyboard, which is easier to do, you can do this. This is way out of wacky, but whatever. Play the melody too. So mind you, I got some big fingers and this is the smallest iPad. So you could, obviously if you're on a bigger iPad, this is much easier to do, playing all these little notes and stuff. But you can do all of that MIDI captured if you want. And I believe when you MIDI capture though, I'm not sure if it captures like single notes. By the way, I can't tell you that 100%. I know it will if you play with the keyboard, but I don't know if it does it when you know what I'm saying, when you just play here chords. But anyway, this is what, under 12 minutes? Good. That's pretty good for me on a video. If you got any questions, thoughts, concerns, let me know in the comments. All right, I'm out.